Hey, what's up? Chaz here. We're in Steamboat, Colorado, and today we get to hang out with cycler Madison Molitor. He's a cyclist on a boat for American Magic. This may blow your mind. It kind of blows my mind. Let's go find out what's up with pedaling a bike on a boat. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Let's go check out Madison Molitor. Okay, so you pretty new to bikes. This is not your first gravel race, but what was your first big gravel race?
First big gravel race is probably Unbound.
This year?
In June, yeah.
The infamous Unbound?
The muddy Unbound, yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was crazy. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a blast. But definitely made some rookie mistakes in the mud and had, I don't know, maybe not quite my fair share of mechanicals, but I had a few. So.
You were kind of talking earlier, you had like a not quite so traditional mechanical.
Yeah, I was getting off my bike to run through the mud, as was most people, and I stepped in the mud and my shoe just went fully into the soft clay. And when I pulled my foot up, my shoe is still in there.
Wait, so you just straight up flamingoed in the mud?
Yeah, and I was looking for my shoe and I realized I'd broken both the boas on my shoes. So I was looking.
But you found it.
I found my shoe.
All right, so first time at altitude, huh? This is what, 7,000 feet?
Yeah, right about.
So where's home? Where's the normal altitude?
Seattle, Washington, so dead sea level.
It could be, well, I don't know, Capitol Hill's probably like 200
fair.
feet above sea level.
It is,
you know?
yeah, you get up quick. I rode at the University of Washington in Seattle, and then made the transition down to the Bay Area, down to Oakland, where the national team is based, and rode there through 2019, 2020, and then combination of COVID and kind of back injuries led me to purchasing a bike, a Trek Domani actually, and threw some gravel tires on there and started exploring the Marin Headlands and the Oakland Hills and Berkeley Hills, and it was like, wow, okay, this is a lot more fun than rowing. I'm gonna keep doing this.
So now you kind of have one foot in the cycling world, obviously, but then you're not rowing, but you're on a boat, right? Like, walk me through what's up with American Magic.
Yeah, so I'm a cycler for American Magic. Yeah. There's been a rule change essentially that allows grinders, so formerly hand grinders on the America's Cup boats, to now use their legs. And so they're pivoting towards cycling as a method of pumping hydraulics through the boat, allowing the sailors to do their job. And so I'm one of the cyclers basically on the boat.
So you're like a motor for the boat?
Yeah, a pump for sure. So there's 8 people on the boat at a time, 4 cyclers and 4 sailors. And there's a position of the sailor's flight controller, and they're in charge of basically the flaps of the foils. And it is effectively coming from the sailors in that we're just going based on their maneuvers. So when they're moving the traveler, the boom effectively, we have to step on it. And
can you see? Are you able to be like, oh, they're doing it, let's go?
Yeah. So thankfully we have a pretty decent view. And we're heads above the holes.
So you're kind of just like right here?
Yeah. All you can see is our heads and kind of bobbing back and forth as we're cranking on it. But we're able to look around and kind of watch the sails a little bit as they change shape and as the sailors are moving them back and forth. But the big efforts for us are when we are going in and out of maneuvers. So
that's when everything's moving.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be spiking at probably 12 to 1500 watts.
Dude, that's like
and then
TDF sprint power.
Yeah, I don't know. So it is pretty comparable to a sprint where you're kind of giving it
like you're in the draft. You're in the draft at like 300, and then you gotta pop out of the draft, and you're up at like 15 to
get a gap,
and then you're holding the gap at like 1,000.
Exactly.
And how many times a race do you do that?
Probably 12 to 20.
Dude, your power file must just be insane.
Just
like. All right, your specialty is obviously watch to PSI. How do you manage this? This is definitely a little chunky down here.
Yeah, we got some big boys.
That's definitely not a pebble.
I feel like bigger tires, lower pressure. That's, key, especially for me. But I have a little bit of, light background in mountain biking.
Right.
So I've done a bunch of downhill in Washington State, where I'm from, and They've got some real technical trails and good rooty Pacific Northwest runs that have definitely helped with the bike handling, but it's still not my strong suit.
But I mean, now you're a little bit more of like a Swiss Army knife here. You could put out 1500 watts, but you also can rip some single track. All right, we just hung out with Madison of American Magic. We learned about watts to PSI ratios. We learned about Washington. I already knew about Washington because obviously it's the best state to grow up in. But make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow American Magic in the America's Cup. This is Chaz and Madison making you faster.